A question for the ages. Which is better, a cushy, stable corporate video editing job or a risky but potentially higher paying freelance video editing career? How's it going, guys? I'm Joshua Olufemii, and we're going to answer this question by interviewing one of my good friends and co-editors, Tyler.Dooghan. In order to get there, though, we're going to need 2 plane tickets, one for you and one for me, over to sunny San Diego where Tyler lives. Don't worry, you can pay me back later, or just like this video and subscribe. If you happen to live in San Diego, make sure to tell me in the comments below whether you're Team SeaWorld or Team Legoland, and I'll gift you with a palm tree. But first, we're totally going to talk about Envato Elements. If you are watching this video, you are probably a video editor. And Envato Elements is indeed a video editor's dream. It's a subscription service that gives you unlimited downloads for the most top-notch quality stock footage, like cloud and fog overlays, aerial footage, fire, lightning. They also have incredible VFX packs, Premiere Pro and After Effects templates, sound effects, royalty-free music, and literally anything else you'd ever want as a video editor. And just by clicking the link below, you will automatically get a free first month. And don't worry, you'll see that coupon for the free first month at the very end after you finish signing up. And that's it, guys. I literally use Elements in some regard every single day.
What's up, everyone? My name is Tyler.Dooghan. I'm a videographer from Seattle, Washington, but I currently live in San Diego, California. You'll be surprised of all these companies that have in-house production teams. The in-house production team that I worked for was for Dutch Bros Coffee. There are a lot of opportunities out there to work in-house to kind of build your skill set, make connections, but there are a couple things that you need to consider before taking those positions.
All right, Tyler, I want you to kind of break down payment comparing freelance work to corporate work.
Now, when you get offered a job, like another job, they're gonna, slide you a piece of paper and be like, you are gonna make X amount a year. Now, there's one thing that you can do right off the bat. If you think that you're worth a little bit more, you can always counter. Now, countering, it's nerve-wracking, and when I first got my first in-house corporate gig, I didn't know you could counter. I thought those were set numbers and there was no wiggle room, but usually there is wiggle room. I have countered before, and it is nerve-wracking, and they did say no. I didn't get any more money, but what they did say is they acknowledged my worth. They said, we know you're worth the amount that you're saying that you're worth, but right now we have only budgeted this amount for the year. But a year from now, with your annual review, there could be an opportunity with growth. And that kind of goes into my next thing is the company controls your value and how much you're getting paid. Unlike freelance, you control what you're getting paid. I mean, if you think you're worth $400 a day, you can charge $400 a day. If you think you're worth $600 a day, you can charge $600 a day. It's really up to you. But when you're working in-house, you're not the one controlling that. There are people controlling all of that. And if you do want a raise, usually that happens at your annual review, and sometimes it doesn't happen, so it might have to follow up with the next year. So it's just a lot slower process.
Dope, Tyler. You've talked to me in the past about how it's like working in a corporate team environment. Could you expand on that?
When you work in-house, you're surrounded by a creative team, and it's sick. It's super cool. You got graphic designers, other videographers, photographers, creative directors, animators, audio engineers. It's a really cool, small little community that I get to be part of. And with my experience, some of these people have become some of my closest friends, and I still talk to them to this day. But because it is a 9-to-5 job, you do see these people every day. And if you're not getting along with one person, you're gonna have to confront it, and sometimes that's super hard. Unlike freelance, maybe you're just working on a project for a week or a couple days, that if you're really not meshing with somebody, in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, at least, this is just a side project. I don't have to deal with them every single day. But when you're working in-house, you see them every day, 40 hours a week. So better put on your big boy pants and confront them even when there's a problem. Because with my experience, it sucks when you don't, and things just get really tense, and it's just not good, and it affects everyone. Another thing is, sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen when you're working in the corporate world. The whole saying, less is more. I believe that is so true in that setting. What would just take 2 people to create something that might take 2 or 3 days, you've now added 12, and it's taking you 6 weeks. And that happens a lot. And the communication internally is insane. I've worked for multiple companies, and it's all the same. The communication is horrible, but you really learn how to over communicate and digging out the information that you need. So there's that pro that comes along with it, but with a lot of frustration and time, you kind of get there.
All right, dope, bro. Tell me a little bit about how a corporate environment and a freelance environment affects your growth as a creator.
With growth, working in-house, it's weird because you are doing it full time. You know, you're working, you're being creative, but you do have a role. You have a role to play. You've been assigned a role and you can't really stray from that role. So if you're a video editor, kind of just going to stay in that world. You're not really going to be a photographer. Unless the company that you work for that needs you to play multiple roles, then yeah, but you know, a lot of time that's kind of your thing. So you don't really grow that much creatively. Unlike freelance, I feel like the last year of freelance, my growth rate has like tripled than the amount of time I was working in-house, because I gotta hold multiple hats. You know, I gotta learn how to do a little bit of animation. I gotta learn how to do audio. I gotta edit. I gotta learn lighting way more than I did, you know? I mean, it is cool that you're working in-house and you're doing that full time, but if you're trying to like grow creatively or really grow, you know, it's just gonna be at a slower rate. You're still gonna grow and there's still gonna be opportunities. I mean, with my job when I worked in-house, you know, we got to go to NAB and go to some conferences and stuff like that where I got to learn in a classroom setting. So there still are like growth things that you do. It's just, I don't think it's going to be as significant or as, you know, as quick as you were freelancing, doing it all on your own.
All right, bro. I want you to talk about creativity. I know this is kind of a touchy subject to a lot of people in the corporate video editing world. I've had my experiences. I want to hear your take.
Being a creative in-house, you know, it's kind of hard because you are being hired 40 hours a day to be creative to work for this company. Probably this company that you'd work for has a product. So you're going to be shooting that product day in, day out. Same product. And it really does challenge you creatively. Figure out, okay, how am I going to shoot this coffee cup in a bajillion different ways? It's tough. And you gotta like really think out of the box. When you're working in-house, it's not about you. You are an employee and the content you're creating has to fit a certain brand. It has to fit the brand. If it doesn't fit the brand, you know, it doesn't fit and they're not gonna use it. And it has nothing to do with you as the creative. I mean, they did hire you because you had some talent and you probably had a flair or something. So they want you to throw that in there. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they want it super generic. But as like a creative, as an artist, and when you put your whole soul and like all your effort into this one thing and they don't use it, dude, it sucks. So you really have to develop a thick skin, because along with working in-house as a creative comes critique, a lot of critique. And when I first started out, this sucked. I mean, this really, really sucked. It drained me. I wanted to quit like 2 months in. But you know, over time, you really develop this thick skin. You understand how to take critique. You understand how to take yourself out of the equation. You know, you are working for a company and it's about that brand. At the end of the day, it's about the brand. So if you do work in-house, it's very important to have your own thing on the side. You gotta be doing something to kind of fill this creative soul, whether it's drawing, writing music, making other videos, maybe finding a nonprofit locally, like, hey, I know you can't afford a videographer, so I'm gonna shoot some stuff for free. You know, that's always an option. But you really gotta learn, like, at the end of the day, if you're working in-house, it's not about you. You know, it is about the brand too when you're doing with freelance, but you know, they did kind of seek you out. They like what you do, so they want you to do your thing. So that's probably like a little bit of the difference. In-house though, I mean, the critique can be really harsh and it can get to you pretty quickly, especially if you're constantly creating content and they're not going with your work day in and day out, like months and months, and they're always going with the other guy. That can get to your head and kind of degrading, and it sucks. But you just got to realize whatever is best for the brand. Yeah, whatever best for the brand.
All right, bro, talk to me about security, man. I know that's the one thing people always talk about, these corporate gigs, they're secure.
Last thing, it's kind of a pro, it's not really con, but you know, when I was working in-house, the sense of security felt amazing. I loved knowing that I'm getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, that if I work over 40 hours, I'm getting overtime. I have a 401k, I have a health insurance. Just knowing that in the back of my head, it was just very soothing and, very relaxing. But like I said earlier, with growth, knowing that I was getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, I wasn't forcing myself to grow or learn new things. A lot of those things like health insurance, setting up retirement, you can do freelance. It's just a little harder. It's a little confusing. You're gonna have to learn some different things, but it is possible. These kind of things, it's what I just shared with you is based off of my experience. They're not right. They're not wrong. If you know somebody who works in-house, pick their brain. For me, I took in-house as a stepping stone opportunity to kind of get me from point A to point B. I knew eventually I wanted to work freelance full time. I knew that I couldn't be set in a cubicle desk situation, that just doesn't work for me. And I wanted to have a flexible lifestyle. To me, that's kind of the big thing, is having a flexible lifestyle. But if you're just starting out and you want to gain experience, want to gain credibility, want to learn kind of the back ends of business, working in-house is a great opportunity. But I just wanted to share those things for you to consider before taking that job, because, I don't want you to get in there and within like a month or two, just realizing like, dude, I shouldn't have done this. I should have just took the leap of faith and gone freelance.
That was a really interesting analysis, Tyler. Thanks so much for hosting us. You can check out Tyler's personal IG here and his website here. And let's actually start a combo in the comments. What has been your personal experience either being a freelance editor or a corporate editor? Thanks so much, guys, for watching. And as always, remember to keep it chill.